audition, I was like, oh my gosh, I thought we were done. And so I went into it very relaxed, and like there were no stakes for me at that point, because I was like, I'm running out of here, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. And I go in, I do this audition. It was a beautiful role, really well written scenes. And the casting director was amazing. So I go do the piece, and I come out of there, and I felt really relaxed doing it. And she was like, that was great. And so anyway, a week later, I get a screen test appointment for when I got back from the Christmas holiday. What a long Christmas break, because I was sitting there the whole time like, oh my God, what if I get this? What if I get this?
Yeah.
And then the process is it's unique. You go in there, when you screen test, you actually tell them what your contract is going to look like like moments before you go in and get in front of the producers. You have to sign off on what kind of money you're going to make. And so it's a real interesting mindset to drop into, and then have to get organically into that character moments later. But it was great. That's how I got into that show. And Scott Granger had a fun, unique storyline. So, I mean, if you knew the show, you know all about it. But I'm happy to tell you.
Yeah, can you share a story from the set?
Yes,
share
absolutely.
a story from the set. I'm sure we're all dying to know.
So stories from the set, first of all, it's a soap, so I had many love triangles. They opened up with me being rescued from the Middle East. I was in a war-torn area as a journalist. And I get rescued from a hostage situation, of course, because it's a soap. It's very exciting, drama.
Right.
And so I get to Genoa City, where the show takes place, and most of my scenes were with the lovely Eric Braeden. So Mr. Braeden has been on the show. If you know who he is, he's Victor Newman. He's been on that show for many, many years, and he's just one of the professionals on the show. And I got to work with him. Yeah, I was nervous. I mean, you're working with like one of the gods of soap opera, and you've got this guy across from you who's he just nails it. He knows what he's doing. He does it with ease.
Right.
And so I was literally holding on to furniture in some scenes, like trying to keep my calm and cool with him. And I got through it the first few weeks, and then I started getting my reps in, and I felt more comfortable. But yeah, that's my opening feeling for it. Yeah.
So then, what happened next? How did you get the roles on Mad Men? By the way, that is one of my favorite shows.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. I'm a huge John Hamm fan. By the way,
John Hamm is a classic gentleman. He's a sweet guy.
I love him.
Yeah, he's not short on fun either. He always had games backstage. I think we were playing cribbage and a few other things, but every time we'd break for lunch or something, they'd always set up a little card table and we'd play. Yeah, no money at stake, but just a lot of fun, point system and bragging rights. Yeah,
he's also a comedy actor. I mean, he's been on 30 Rock.
He's done a lot of stuff in comedy. I can't remember. There was one where he's in a movie where he's a real jerk. But he ends up he's a funny jerk. He's very charming about it.
Yes.
But yeah, you wouldn't think John Hamm, after his role in Mad Men, would have all these comedic chops. But the guy is a beast. He's very funny. And even in real life, he's just a fun guy. So here's a quick little story about John Hamm.
Tell me.
I met John Hamm a while back at this bar in Hollywood called La Poubelle. And we were sitting at the bar, and we just jokingly were playing a little game, and I think we had $1 bet in there. It was a very small wager, and it was a dice game. We played a little bit back and forth, and I remember I think I took about $5 off him. And before I booked the Mad Men, and so months or maybe even a year later, I see him on set, and he goes, "I know you," and I was like, "Yes, you do." He's like, "You took $5 off of me." I said, "Yes, I did." And so there was a kind of a funny little chip we had with each other. Anyway, that's how so I had known him before I even did the show.
So I saw online that you were in a dancing scene when you were on Mad Men. So not only are you a musician and a great singer, by the way, but you can dance.
Yes, I can.
Tell us a little bit about that scene.
That was an amazing opportunity. I got to work with Jessica Perret, and she's this wonderful French-Canadian actress who's been in a lot of different things. I mean, I can't even name all of them, but she was one of the most genuine and sweet, warm people on that set. She embraced me because she had been on the show for years at that point. And she said, the way I got on the show and it became a thing, she had a similar type of scene where she came into the set and it was meant to be a small guest star, and it turned into being the next woman who's marrying John Hamm's character.
You just never know.
You never know. So the dancing number, though, was great. The choreographer was the person who choreographed Saturday Night Fever. So I got to work with her for 3 days.
That is very cool.
Yeah, and it was meant to look like a very casual improv dance scene, but that was what was the challenging part, is to make steps you choreographed look natural and look like something you're just on the fly thinking up. So that was the experience there, and it was really cool to work with Jason.
Well, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Who were your favorite actors when you were a child? Who did you idolize, or who?
I've always idolized
did you love?
Paul Newman. You know?
Yes,
he's
me
like,
too.
I feel like he's one of the last.
The man.
He's one of the last movie stars. He is the man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all remember Cool Hand Luke. That was one of those, like, talking about the man. He's just the man in these movies. He has what you call something I've always wanted to emulate, that on-screen presence that is just calm and entrancing. You watch the guy, it looks effortless, and that's something I'm striving to do. And I guess all it takes is, this is kind of touching on a thing we might speak about today, is if you do get into acting and you are an actor, this is something, it's like, just get that on-set presence. Even if you're doing short films, even if you're doing free things, webisodes, if you just get the reps in, it's the amount of time you get on set that makes you more and more watchable. Because there's nobody wants to watch a person who's slightly uncomfortable acting, because then they see you working.
Right.
But Paul Newman, you never saw the guy work. I mean, maybe they edited out those scenes.
Effortless.
They maybe edited those clips, but in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, I mean, he's riding around on the bike. He's got his girl on the handlebars. I mean, it just looks effortless, and that's what I think drew me to Paul Newman and Robert Redford and all those movies they did together.
Absolutely.
Those are like,
agree with you more.
They are the archetype of a movie star to me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I also read in your bio that you produce.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm into, right now, I'm actually producing a feature film that we're going to be shooting in Ireland. Fingers crossed, sometime in late October. Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Over in Limerick. That's the idea. Hopefully all our locations lock and hold together. And that's one of the things. As you get locations, they can come, they ebb and flow a little bit. So as they come based on your schedule, things become available and some things become unavailable. But we're going to be shooting over there, and I've got a great director attached. And the cast is following with that. I can't talk about too much of it until the contracts
but I think we have to
contracts
put that
are all
on the
signed.
lowdown, so we'll have to be respectful
We might have
of
to
that.
come back, and I can fill you in at a later date.
Well, we want to see the trailer here when you have it. We'll show the trailer.
Yeah. I would love to. That's very
that
cool.
would be great. So I know Aaron. That we have a viewer in the chat.
Yeah.
He was here. He lives in Ireland.
Oh, wonderful.
So Daniel's going to be shooting his next movie there. So
that's
I don't know,
right.
maybe
Hi, Aaron.
you guys can hook up, and Aaron could be a director.
There you go, Aaron.
An extra, not the director.
I think Marv was just saying that Aaron he'll be close.
Yes. I think he's his mom has a summer house in Limerick or something. He said these guys come back.
I'll come by for a tea, and we'll talk all things Ireland.
There you go. So you did kind of talk about a little bit about advice for actors.
Yeah.
But what advice in general do you have for people that are trying to make it? This is such a hard industry to break into. You really have to stay with it and be persistent. What advice do you have for people that are really wanting to break into acting?
I mean, I think this goes for acting, but I believe it also goes for any walk you want to step into. Perseverance, patience, but not just patience, but patience with the sense of just never giving up and always believe. This is something I saw Anthony Hopkins say the other day I think it was on some Instagram thing, but Anthony Hopkins says, believe, believe, believe. And even if you don't believe, act like you believe. Because if you act like you believe, there's something that happens in your brain, and it does, and then things will start to happen for you. And it's not blind belief, it's belief in the fact that you are good enough, you are talented enough, you've done the work. And that's the key. Work begets work. But also, putting yourself in a position to get lucky. I think we talked about this on a previous thing I did briefly when we talked the other day.
Yes.
Put yourself in a position to get lucky. So make sure if you do network, you network with the people who can give you a yes. Not people who can say, oh, you want to network with people who can give you yes. So believe in that, but put yourself in a position to be successful and to be lucky in that. So that's my advice. But truly, patience and perseverance. If you stick around, you will find your place. Yeah.
I agree. And, I actually interview a lot of the Shark Tank entrepreneurs.
Oh, yeah.
I love Shark Tank. It's one of my favorite shows. And my old boss is the executive producer. We've had him here, as well as the casting director, Mindy Zemrak.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
I've had probably about eight of the entrepreneurs here who sell their items on Amazon. And I always ask them, what advice do you have for young entrepreneurs? And it's the same advice. It is to stay with it, follow your dream, and don't give up.
Yeah, I think it's a universal concept for sure. I think anybody who tells you that, that's it. I know it sounds like, oh, come on, that's just a cliche. How do we do that? It's believing in yourself. And that's the thing. Our moms were right. When they say just be yourself, it really is but you have to believe it. That's the thing. You have to be yourself, but believe in
You have
that.
to believe it. Well,
It's a synergy of that, yeah.
We talked a little bit yesterday about manifestation, because yesterday was the Ring of Fire eclipse.
Oh.
And it
Oh,
was
right.
a very
Yes,
good
yes, yes,
time to manifest and put out there to the universe what you want. And the key.
Do you want to share what did you do something fun?
Well, I
think on
did.
something?
Yes, I did a lot of things. Many things I
Good.
did.
And
I
they're
planted
private. I
my
think they're
seed.
private. That's
they're
good.
private.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
private. But one of the things that my friend Lisa Johnson, who was here with us yesterday, she was doing a Zoom.
Okay.
It was so important. She said to put the word now. Like, you want this to happen now, not sometime in the future, not 10 years from now, not 20 years from now, but you want to do it now.
Specificity.
Yes,
specificity
yeah,
of your want.
Specificity
That is
of your want.
That is very true. And that's something else. I'm going to quickly, if you don't mind me piggybacking
No, of course
that.
not. Please.
So, when you have a want like that, let's say I want to work in the film industry. You got to be specific. You got to say, I want to work with this director. I want to work in this country. I want to do, and I've been really manifesting this film. It's the first time in my career that I've not really kind of gripped on tightly to a thing I wanted. And I've kind of let this one, just let the universe kind of go there. And I don't, not to be all like, spiritual hokey pokey about it, but it's working in a way that's felt the most calm and relaxing. And I think when you are in that state, you're able to vibrate in a way that returns that energy back to you. And so I think, if you truly do that type of work, it comes back. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Manifest specifically.
Exactly. And that was something that I learned yesterday from Lisa, is just, to say that you want it now and be focused and stay positive and make your dreams come true.
Positivity is attractive as well. When
Absolutely.
you have some of those friends who are like, why are you always complaining, half cup, half empty stuff? It's not it doesn't draw you to that person. You sort of want to take space from that person. And sometimes you have to, but it's really nice when someone's positive, even when they're going through something difficult.
Yeah, well, it also comes back at you. I believe it comes right back at you.
What you
so
put
what
out,
you put out, you get back.
Exactly.
So it's really important.
Absolutely.
Advice.
Vibrations are real. Energy never goes away.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's hard, but
it is hard, but it's no one said it was going to be easy.
No one said it was. Nothing in life that's worthwhile is easy. Usually.
Exactly. So I did want to share with you one of the clips from one of our Shark Tank entrepreneurs.
Love that.
Because we were just talking about that. Are you familiar with the Drop Stop? It's a seat gap filler.
It's a seat gap filler. Yeah, I've seen it. I've not touched it. I've not known anything about it except that it helps you catch items that this morning on the way here, actually, I was using my GPS, hands-free, but for a second I was kind of updating it at the light, I know. And it fell and it slipped down and it gets stuck in the side. And talking about a dangerous situation, you're over there, scrambling to try and get it before the light changes. And if you don't get it, then your phone call comes in, and then you're scrambling while you're driving.
Well, that's the thing, and you take your eyes off the road. So
Not
everybody drops their phone, their credit cards, their keys. A lot of stuff fall down that gap. So this is the Drop Stop seat gap filler as seen on Shark Tank. This is also an item that is available on Amazon.
Very cool.
And I'm going to share with you a clip when the guys were here, because they also...
so they demo it for us? Because that looks pretty cool. I want to see how that works.
Well, yeah, they actually... Well, this is just from the Zoom. But,
cool.
But check it out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking with Mark Newberger and Jeffrey Simon. They are the inventors of the Drop Stop, and this is available on Amazon. These guys made a deal with Lori Grenier on Shark Tank. Woohoo!
The moment we walked in, Lori is unbelievable as a human being. You can order from our website, but you should probably do it through Amazon.
And listen, they take care of everybody, and they're always coming up with new tools, new ways to support. Look what you guys are doing right here.
It's
and
amazing.
this opportunity.
I think the key to our success is love. Like happiness, being proud of what you are. Because again, when we go to sleep at night, we're so proud of what we've been doing. People say when you get famous or more success, it changes. We feel it just brings out more of who you are.
Everyone needs to have this.
We're putting something out there that you're putting in your car. We're putting something out there that's going to hopefully help save your life. So don't drop and drive.
No.
Don't drop and drive. That's their logo. Yes. And those guys stuck with it. They stuck with their dream. And now this Drop Stop seat gap filler is in every single vehicle of the LAPD. Our Los Angeles Police Force
Wow.
has this.
Yeah.
So pretty amazing. So I have a gift for you because you just told us that story. But they
I
made
can
us.
take this with me?
Yes, they made us.
I will
Sway-
not have this
Sway
issue on the
TV.
way home.
Yes,
No.
Sway TV drop stops. There's 2 in
Sway
here.
TV drop
So
stop.
that is for you.
That's awesome. Thank you. Look at that. That's awesome. This is what happens when you come on and do a show with these guys. You get a drop stop.
Yes, that is our
That's the perk. I love it. This is very cool. Thank you so
parting
much.
gift to you.
Thank
You're
you.
very, very welcome.
Am I leaving? That's
No,
it? Okay,
no,
okay.
you're not leaving because
That's
we're
too
going
early
to
for
talk.
the party gift. Now I've already got what I came for.
You know
That's
what? I
it.
just
Yeah.
wanted to bring it up because we were talking about staying with your dream and
Yeah.
staying positive, and being
they did that,
persistent.
and these guys did that.
guys did that, and all the Shark Tank entrepreneurs did that. So
That's awesome.
I felt that was a good time to bring it up.
You know, and talking about specificity, this is not just they could have made it just a thing that divided down the side of the thing, and it had this has a separator for where your seatbelt goes through.
Yeah, so
It's
it
got a
stays
spot for the
put.
phone. Yeah,
so
I mean,
it stays put. It
and
stays
that's
put.
that's thought, and that's great, and perseverance.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And just getting on Shark Tank is no small feat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we actually had Kimberly Meckwood, who's a friend of mine and Andy's. She has the record for the most auditions ever.
Wow,
Yes.
that's a long line to stand in.
7 times.
Wow,
7
good for
times.
her.
But she
Perseverance.
she stayed with her dream, and after 7 times she got on, and now she has a deal with Mark Cuban.
My gosh, good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal. Mark
Yeah.
Cuban's a beast of the industry for sure.
Amazing, amazing. So stick with it, and that was the advice. So
Yeah.
let's talk about some other things. I know that you're involved with charities. Can you tell
Yes,
us about your
yes.
charity work? I know you mentioned at the beginning something. but-
Absolutely, yeah. So I've worked with a few different charities, but the one that I'm sort of steady with the most is Art of Elysium. So Art of Elysium, it's a company, or not a company, it's a charity that actually works with mostly children, and most of the times they're in a hospital dealing with an event in their life that is difficult, and we come in there and depending on our talent and our ability, I'll come in and sing or play a little guitar. Sometimes we act out, and we bring a bag of all kinds of hats and wigs and little quick things to dress into. And we do stories on the fly. We do cold reading of stories, and we invite the kids to interact as much as they can or want to. We do this over at a Children's Hospital, Kaiser, all around the city. And it's something that is just not only rewarding for them, but I'm going to be honest, it's super rewarding for us. And, sometimes I jokingly say, am I being selfish by doing this? Because I get so much out of it. And at the end of the day, honestly, it makes me feel better, and I give back to them. And it's awesome. It's such a great synergy of sharing with these folks and the kids. And so that Art of Elysium is they've been around for quite a while, and they just get incredibly talented actors to come in and share this with these incredibly talented human beings within these situations. So that's one of the ones I work with. That's me giving mostly just time, which is what I think is very, very valuable to those children.
Absolutely.
Another great one is the Harold Robinson Foundation, and that's also Pedal on the Pier, which is a fun thing. I don't know if you've ever.
That's how you know Michelle.
That's how I know Michelle.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So she is always a big part of that, and so we go into the Santa Monica Pier and we ride exercise bikes. I believe you were riding one the other day.
Yes. Well, we're going to talk about that as
Okay,
well.
we'll get
That's
there.
next.
We'll get there. But so when you ride the bikes, every mile you do is worth $1 or a certain value, not from you, but from people matching the miles you ride. And so I go in there and I ride every time there's an event. And I've gone up and volunteered at the camp. He does this camp called Camp Ubuntu. I believe I'm saying that right. And it's what they do is they bring in some kids from the inner city who haven't experienced what it's like to go to summer camp. And so then you go up there and they give them this, I believe it's like a week of summer camp on the house, on their foundation. And they get to experience what that's like and really say it, and open their eyes to just getting to the place where they can actually do that and have that experience. Now, and one last thing I want to talk about, this isn't a charity, but it's a company I'm an ambassador for. It's also in that same charitable sort of path.
Right.
It's called Kind Traveler. And Kind Traveler is an incredible company. They basically shrink your carbon footprint while you travel. So anywhere you go, they set it up so it's a give and get platform where you end up, if you go to, let's say, Belize or somewhere where there's a small economy, you can bring back you can bring a charity and some money to a local charity there. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you give a minimum, I believe, of $10 to your local charity or whatever you want to do there in the local community. and you get up to 20% off your hotel stay. So by giving to charity, you save money on your hotel. It's a win-win situation, and they've really branched out. They're becoming international now. It's quite a large group, but it's all about giving back to the environment and the local communities. So
amazing!
Yeah.
Oh my God, Daniel, amazing!
Yeah.
Really.
I feel very blessed
Yes,
to be
and it
an
must
ambassador
feel,
for them.
and
Yeah.
it feels so good
Yeah.
to give back.
It does, and travel is such a big industry, and travel, you got to fly there, so you end up your
Absolutely.
carbon is being spent there. But if you can find a way to offset that by giving to a local charity,
Yes.
it just feels like you're doing the right thing, and you feel a little less guilty about travel.
I've been to Belize.
Have you?
Yes, I've been there, so I
have
know.
not.
Yes.
I have not, but I've heard the water's amazing.
Yes, it's beautiful there.
Did you go just to Belize, or did you go to a little island?
I
off
was on
Belize?
a cruise,
Oh,
actually.
so you saw everything. That's
I was on a rock and roll cruise,
That's
and we
awesome.
stopped there.
What?
Yeah.
Rock and roll? Do you sing? Do you sing? I'm not going to get you to sing.
I watch.
Oh, but that's awesome. So you like rock and roll?
I do. I love rock and roll.
Name me your favorite band. Just
Led
one.
Zeppelin.
That's easy. I love Led Zeppelin. I love Led
That was a
Zeppelin.
no-brainer.
Nope. That's awesome.
I'm a rock and roll gal.
Yeah, Black Dog. That's one of my favorites.
Yes, perfect.
Little
I
mainstream,
love
but I love
that.
that song,
Love
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So if you guys are just tuning in, this is actor Daniel Hall. You know him from The Young and the Restless, Mad Men, Graceland, Law and Order. He's here live with us at Sway TV today. We're talking about his career, what's happening next, and we are also talking about his charity work. So there's a chat here. If you guys have any questions for Daniel, please feel free to ask in the chat, and we will have Daniel answer your questions here.
Yeah, please.
So we were just talking about the pedal
on the pier.
pedal on the
Yeah,
pier,
yeah.
and we talked about doing the exercise bike. So you came by the other day. You had a meeting with our producer,
Yeah.
and that's how I met Daniel. Do you work out?
I do.
Because I'm sure that's an important part of acting,
it is.
right? Is
And
to also like stay in shape.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So when I worked on The Young and the Restless, and once again, it's a soap opera. So, you want to see attractive women and shirtless guys. And so anyway, so I had to have my shirt off quite often. It was kind of a thing where I was like, I need to be working out constantly. You know what? To be honest with you, I was in good shape, but I found myself into better shape now. And it's funny, I no longer really in the gym as much because of the pandemic.
Right.
But now I am surfing. I picked up surfing back in August.
Right. We're finding stuff to do outside.
Absolutely.
I hike.
You hike?
I hike, you surf.
Let me tell you, take someone on a hike who's even a marathon runner who's never done hills. Man, they are huffing and puffing.
I know.
They're like, how do
I
you do
know.
this? You're like, how do you do what you do? It's a different muscle,
That's
but
right. That's
hiking
right.
is
You get
extremely.
used to it.
Oh
Yeah.
That's a good one. But surfing's been a thing that
tell
kept
us.
me kind of sane. I know we've all been dealing. There's on a serious topic. I mean, mental health during this time period is a serious thing, and there's been a lot of people who've struggled with it. But for me, what I found to help me with that in days where I felt depressed was to get in the water. There's something about the negative ions.
Yes, I
and
get
just
that.
being on the surfboard and like, it's not in your hands. I mean, this ocean's so powerful. So I would just jump up on a wave and I'm like, well, I'm probably gonna fall because I was starting out. But once you catch that wave, there's nothing more exciting and freeing because your mind empties out. There's nothing else. You're so present in that moment because you have to, otherwise
That's
you're gonna
right.
wipe out.
That's right.
So it's for me, it was my spiritual getaway, and it was such a
I
nice
love
little.
that. It's an outlet.
It's an outlet.
So do you get up super early to go do that?
I did. We call that, I think, what do they call that? Dawn patrol.
Oh my goodness.
So you get up and you do a dawn patrol surf, and that's usually right. I liked for the first, when it was during the winter too when I got into this. By the time I was actually standing, it was like November, and so I was in cold water and cold air temperatures.
Yeah, it's
and it's
chilly here. It's
6 a.m.
chilly
It's
in our
40
water
degrees.
here.
40
I
something.
know that.
And I had a wetsuit that was a hand-me-down because I wasn't sure I was investing in this pastime.
Right.
And it was not thick enough. So I would go out there, and the water was about 50 degrees, and the air temperature is 42, and you're in the water, and you're like, why am I here? And then a few minutes later, you realize why you're there, and it just was awesome. But Dawn Patrol is, you earn it, and I always wanted to be the first surfer in the water. I would be like, oh, there's already a guy there. And
There's a lot of people out here super early
Yes,
in LA.
I couldn't believe
it's
it.
packed in the morning,
What
right?
are they doing? They're crazy people.
I know.
Yeah, but I've now realized why they're crazy or not crazy is because it really is such an amazing way to start your day. It's same with any sort of exercise.
That's what I do with
once
my
you
hiking.
get it done in
Yeah.
the morning, you feel like
it's such a good feeling.
yeah, and there's no excuses that can pop up either later. You can't get, I can't do it this afternoon because no, you've already done it. You feel good about your day and your energy's moving. Yeah.
I agree. And you recently had a little accident.
Yeah, I guess it's
You
the
wanna tell
nature
us
of the
about that?
beast.
Yeah.
I do, yeah. I was very fortunate. Honestly, I do this weird little thing when I get in the water. I first of all put my hands in the water and I thank the ocean for being. I'm sounding like such a hippie, but I thank the oceans mainly because I want to feel safe in that. It's not, we're guests there. That's not, we're land animals for the most part.
Right.
And so then I also thank my board for keeping me safe. Please keep me safe.
I love that.
Then this day I was up in Topanga and I was surfing, and it's a rocky bottom if anybody knows the area. So that's why it has a really beautiful rolling wave. And so I jumped in the wave. The waves were a little big for my skill level that day, but I was like, I'm going to try it. I like when the fear and my ability are right next to each other. They're almost even. And that's Aaron's back. Thank you for being back. Welcome back.
He's the one who lives in Ireland.
Well, hello.
All right,
Irish,
so maybe you guys will meet at some point.
Yeah,
because
we
he's
can
shooting a movie near your
and
in
happy
your
to
hood.
talk to you. Yeah, you might have to help me scout locations over there.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
You
Look
never
at
know.
that.
Yeah,
Look at
Mark,
networking
exactly.
happening in the chat on Sway TV.
That's right. We're setting something up. Until contracts are
deals.
signed. Yeah, I'm kidding. But yeah, so I'm surfing up in
We
Topanga.
get a cut. No,
you
just
get a cut.
kidding.
Yeah. You never know. You know what I mean? Yeah, so Topanga is my favorite spot, one of my favorite spots to surf. And it's a rocky bottom. That's what makes the wave so nice. But that day was a little big, and I get up on the wave, and I felt that the wave was kind of breaking over my shoulder, and it's time to get off this wave. And so I usually jump away from the board, and I jump back through the wave. And the second I did that, the wave was so strong, it threw me back towards the board. Ooh. And the water was maybe 2.5 feet deep over the rocks. So I was like, you fall flat, you don't dive in. So I felt the board hit my side, and then something hit me really hard in the front of my leg. And I was like, oh my God, I came up and there was another wave coming. So I quickly paddled back through the break, and I got out and I sat on my board and I said to my friend, you think I fractured it? And he's like, you'd know if you fractured it. I was like, well, this hurts like a lot.
Yikes.
So I rubbed it, and there was like a little bit of a dent feeling to it. And I was like, what is that? And anyway, my mom was calling me on my watch.
Oh, you have a smartwatch. We have a smartwatch in
I was
our
like, Mom,
carousel.
she always knows when to call, right in the middle of something.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom.
So long story short, I felt the board hit me here, and then there was something that hit me really hard on the leg. And I was telling my friend, and basically it felt warm, and I sort of stopped. And about 30 minutes later, I tried to surf a little more, and I got out.